Welcome, everybody. It's episode 13 of the Next Man Up Sportscast. Where has the time gone? But yeah, we got a really special show for you today. We're gonna be introducing. I mean, he's kind of made guest appearances here and there, but we're gonna be introducing the third leg of the Next Man Up Sportscast, the third small leg of the Next Man Up Sportscast. Um, we're going to be introducing my boy. You may have heard him here as the voice of God, the mole rat, Mr. Mauricio Cobian, the boy Mo. Mo is more or less our producer. He kind of puts things together on the show. I don't really know what you do for this, Mo. Honestly, I have no idea. I feel like you don't do much. So why don't you go ahead and tell the people what you do?
Yeah, so I'm the producer, kind of. I record everything, I put everything together, make sure that all the content that we put together is coming to you nice in a nice little tight package.
We're gonna get into our first topic here, Mandy, and it doesn't. I don't. It's hard to talk about. It's really hard to see happening. But the Dodgers have really dug themselves into a hole. As we're recording this show, they looks like they're gonna go down 3-1 unless they somehow score 8-9 runs in this next inning, half inning that we're top of the ninth. Doesn't look likely. But don't worry, Dodger fans. Okay, don't worry. I'm gonna give you the keys, the recipe. Dave Roberts, pay attention, my boy. I'm gonna help you out. This is how you're gonna go up. This is how you're gonna win 3 games in a row. I mean, that's the only option at this point. Um, and I don't know who we're gonna see in the next game. I'm assuming Max Fried is gonna come in to close it out. But if I'm the Braves, I probably don't even pitch him yet. I probably throw somebody else and see what you can do. But at the same time, you might give the Dodgers life. So I think they're gonna throw Max Fried. The one danger here is he has this crazy stat. I think he's like won 10 or 11 games, or he's won like 10 out of 11 games for for Atlanta the last 11 starts. Mo, what's that stat again?
Max Fried is 13-1.
Yeah, so I knew it was something nuts like that. He's 13-1 in his last 14. I mean, I'm sorry, he's not 13-1, but the Atlanta Braves are 13-1 in Max Fried's last 14 starts. So that's gonna be a tough battle to overcome. Hey, but if any lineup can make it 13-2, it's the Dodgers lineup. And here are the keys. This is how the Dodgers are gonna win. They really need to start hitting the Braves starting pitching a lot better. Yes, they hit that one guy, Kyle Wright, I believe his name was. They put 11 runs on him in the first inning. That's great. He's not a great pitcher though. The Dodgers need to do this against good pitching. And the hard thing about it is all year long they haven't really seen good pitching. They don't have a lot of good pitching in the NL West besides the Dodgers team, or the AL West. So it's been tough. They haven't seen a lot of good pitching. So I think that's why they're struggling against a team with a really good staff. Max Fried has a nasty curveball. He hasn't. I think it was a stat he hasn't hit like it was like over 300 pitches since they last hit a home run on his curveball. But if the Dodgers can get on him early, if Mookie Betts can set the table well and Corey Seager can, pitch in there and have those guys in the third, fourth spot in the order hit, if Cody Bellinger can return to half of his MVP form, the Dodgers will be in good shape. The second key for the Dodgers is honestly right now, Dave Roberts, sometimes we give him credit for doing the things right, putting the right guys in the right position to succeed. Unfortunately, he hasn't really done that in this series. He has had a tough time putting the right relievers in the right spot right now. He's getting, even Brusdar Graterol today, you saw him come in the game, and he's usually a guy who locks it down. That just was a tough spot for him. Gave up a couple of runs there. He just hasn't really found that Dave Roberts niche where he puts the right guys against the right guys. We saw him do it all year long against the NL West and the AL West. It's kind of struggling this postseason against the Braves specifically. So we're hoping, if Dave Roberts can kind of figure out, maybe try some new things with that bullpen and get the right guys against their right guys, I think the Dodgers could stand a chance. You know what I mean? They're Dodger fans, your hopes aren't over. Going down 3-1 is really tough, but it's not insurmountable. We saw the Nuggets do it twice this year, so it's definitely something that can happen. But those are the things that the Dodgers have to do to make it happen. Mandy, would you agree with me?
Look, it's simple. You said it. If there's one team that could come back with 3-1 deficit, it's definitely the Dodgers. But now let me just say this. I'm frustrated. Okay? The Dodgers remind me No, not don't remind me. They are. I'll say it right now. Quote me on this. The Dodgers are the bigger market, more expensive Oakland A's. Now, what do I
Oh,
mean by that? Okay, always have great seasons, 90 win, 100 win seasons, right? Oakland A's rely on analytics, Moneyball, right?
yeah.
Billy Bean. The Dodgers do the exact same thing,
Yep.
but
Yep.
with the bigger market. Have the A's ever been past the division series? Never.
Not recently, but yeah.
Yeah, not recently with the whole analytics. No, they
Yeah,
haven't.
no, no, not at all.
The Dodgers playoffs, Dodgers regular season, A's regular season, A's playoffs are two totally different things, right?
Agreed.
The Dodgers are built for a 160 game season,
Definitely.
absolutely. But in a playoff series, we see it year in and year out. The Dodgers are not meant for a playoff series. Why not? Like you said, it's the pitching. It's a timely pitching.
Yep.
We have so much depth, but in a playoff series, let's be honest,
You need a horse.
depth doesn't matter because you have guys going 3 days rest. You have guys pitching every single game because it's a must win every single game. And unfortunately for the Dodgers, they're not built for that.
Yep. If you look back on even the past World Series winners, you had guys like Max Scherzer and Strasburg shouldering the load is because you got to go front heavy, and that's what the Braves are doing.
The Atlanta Braves remind me of the Washington Nationals.
Yep.
Just the right amount of hitters, Freddie Freeman, Ozuna, Acuna, right?
Sheesh. Albies.
Like the Nationals last year with Juan Soto.
Yep.
And the guy, the third baseman for the Angels now.
Rendon,
right?
Yep. Zimmerman even.
Yeah, and then the pitching, right? The pitching from last year for the Nationals, pitching this year for the Braves. You know what? Look, it is what it is. Again, am I giving up? Of course not. The Dodgers could easily win 3 games in a row. Is it going to be difficult? Hell yeah, it's going to be difficult.
Yeah. It's an uphill battle. They have to play perfect these next 3 games. They have no room for error in these next 3 games, and if they can do that, the Dodgers can get a win. It's going to be tough though. It's going to be difficult. So we'll move on to topic number 2. So we had a lot of movement this offseason for quarterbacks. You don't normally see that very often because the quarterback is the hallmark of your team. They're the staple. They're the ones that provide stability, and they're the guys you build around. So you don't see a lot of movement. But this year we saw a lot of free agent signings and guys who are put in position to play right away. So we're gonna go over a list of a couple of guys. We're gonna decide, was it a good move or was it a bad move? Because there are some bad moves. Number 1, your boy, your fantasy sleeper here, Cam Newton. Was it a good choice or was it a bad choice for the New England Patriots?
This is too easy. It's not even close. Obviously, it was a good choice. I mean, look what Cam Newton, the number he's putting up.
Yep.
This whole COVID scare, he missed a game. But that being said, Cam Newton can do it all. He has a chip on the shoulder. Every single NFL team passed him up. He holds that against them. He's a freak of nature. He looks like a Greek god. Okay, you multiply that with the whole chip on the shoulder. Cam Newton has all the intangibles. He could run it with power. He could run it with speed. His arm it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Again, Cam Newton is such an animal out there, such a freak of nature athlete. It was a great pickup by the New England Patriots, right? For the past, I don't know how many years, 19 years, they've had Tom Brady,
who's
been
a while.
Prolific, GOAT, the greatest of all time, pocket passer, right? Josh McDaniels, with that just one mindset, was able to create a whole offense around Tom Brady. And Josh McDaniels is a great offensive mind.
Absolutely.
Cam Newton, he's going to open the playbook even more now. And the difference between Cam Newton and Tom Brady, besides the legs, is the fact that with Cam Newton, the first 4 games, you can have one set of offense, right? Josh McDaniels said one set of offense for the first 4 games of the season. And then the last 4 games of the season, he could change up completely. And Cam Newton is able to do that because of his athleticism. So absolutely great pickup. The minds of McDaniels and Belichick with the athleticism of Cam Newton, absolutely great pick.
Agreed. I totally agree. And really what I think the commonality here with all of these guys is they only work when the teams buy into this quarterback, right? So they let them be who they are. Josh McDaniels has committed. They're all in on Cam. So what do? They make the offense tailored around Cam Newton, and that's the only way he's going to be successful. And I really think it's the same thing for this next guy, Teddy Bridgewater. He moved on, from Minnesota. He went ahead and went to the Carolina Panthers, or from the Saints, actually, last year, and went on to the Carolina Panthers. And Matt Rule has done a wonderful job with Teddy Bridgewater. Again, another guy who you highlighted early on in the season was going to be a good pickup for fantasy owners, and he really has been. And to me, people may have doubted him after the first two games. He had two losses. They were tough losses, close games, but then three in a row. Teddy Bridgewater's winning 3 games in a row that actually Carolina wasn't favored for any of the games that they won. So they were underdogs for all 3 of the games that they won, with the spread. And he's done a great job. And really what Teddy Bridgewater does is he doesn't lose you games. He lets his defense work for him, and he moves the football, gets field goals, gets completions, doesn't make a lot of mistakes. So great pickup for the Carolina Panthers and Matt Rule. I think it's perfect because I think Matt Rule drafts the guy he wants, but Teddy Bridgewater's a really good in-between guy for them. Next guy on here, I can't even look at his name without laughing. Phillip Rivers, moved on to the Colts. Good decision, bad decision for the Colts, man.
Look, Phillip Rivers will go down in history as one of the, not the greatest, but one of the best gunslingers, bad attitude, right? Kind of go for broke kind of quarterbacks, right?
Crap talker.
Huh?
Crap
talker for sure. But I'm going to say it right here on our show. Phillip Rivers is the poor man's, the crackhead's Brett Favre. Right? Brett Favre is the ultimate gunslinger, the ultimate riverboat gambler, right, with his arms. Phillip Rivers wishes he could be like Brett Favre, and it's bad. Phillip Rivers is a turnover machine.
Yeah.
His last 2 years in San Diego have been disgusting, and unfortunately, it's transitioning to Indianapolis, the Colts. But the record doesn't show it as well. The record doesn't show it, but still, Phillip Rivers. I mean,
they're 2-3, so they're not great.
They're not great. You're right. They're not great. But you know what? Yeah, I think it was a horrible decision by Indianapolis. Maybe they thought they could squeeze one more year out of him, right? Put him in a dome, contain the elements, put him on turf, put some weapons around him. Maybe it could work, right? But no.
You know what? Honestly, I think that if the Colts would have actually signed Teddy Bridgewater with their defense and the guys they have around him, it would have been a great fit for Teddy there in Indianapolis. And I think Phillip Rivers is just the opposite. His turnovers causes his team to lose games because that defense is really good. And if you give them a chance, they can win you some football games if you don't shoot yourself in the foot. Another guy who actually, gets a lot of flack for being a game manager. I really think his game has taken another step in Tennessee. Ryan Tannehill has been great. I mean, he hasn't been good. He's been great. I looked at his numbers side by side with Patrick Mahomes' numbers, and they're not that far off. He actually has, I think, 2 more touchdowns in like a 7-game span or something nuts like that. And in the red zone, he's just been money. He's been money. On Tuesday night against the Bills, he went 5 for 5 in the red zone, 2 passing touchdowns and a running touchdown. He fits the Titans so well. Again, doesn't turn the ball over very often. And the added dimension of a passing threat lets Derrick Henry, not have to run in 7-man boxes. And by the way, Josh Norman, R.I.P. my guy. You got it. I think it's time to hang him up because Derrick Henry just made you his son, my boy. So Tannehill, love the move to Tennessee. It's been working out great. Nick Foles, Mandy, he moved. Obviously, he's been kind of a journeyman. I think he played for the Rams a little bit. Went ahead and won a Super Bowl with Philadelphia as a backup QB. Philadelphians love that guy. They actually built him a statue. But Nick Foles, good move to Chicago, bad move to Chicago.
Absolutely is a great move. How often are you able to sign to be your backup quarterback, a
Super Bowl
champion?
Yeah.
Who's, I mean, I'm not going to say he's in his prime, but he's not old. Yeah. He still has another 10 years in the NFL, I'm going to say. He's still fairly young. I mean, yeah, I think he's in the late 20s. Might be his late 20s, early 30s.
Okay.
He has 8 years left in the NFL.
Okay.
So what? You signed him to be your backup quarterback, right? Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl experience, and now this rookie who I think the Bears did a horrible, decision at the draft to pick up Mitch Trubisky from North Carolina ahead of Was it Watson and
Watson and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah.
that was a complete joke. The Chicago
Yeah.
Bears, complete joke. Okay, but luckily your season is still saved. Your season is still saved because your quarterback, your coach, finally pulled the plug on Mitch Trubisky and put in the Super Bowl champion, the veteran Nick Foles at the starting role, and it's well. Like you said, another common theme that these quarterbacks who we agree with the right move is the fact that they have good defenses. Chicago has a decent defense.
No, they have a great defense. I mean, people think that they fell off last year, and they might have, but this year they're back, man. That defense is elite again. Elite.
So, what more do you want? You have a great defense. All you got to be is a game manager, and that's what Nick Foles is, right? You need a veteran quarterback to be a game manager, and that's exactly what Nick Foles is. I think it was a great pickup by the Chicago Bears, and watch Nick Foles become the quarterback. Of course, he is going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the year, barring injuries, right? He's the man in Chicago, and watch them lead Chicago to a playoff run.
I can see it. I can definitely see it, especially this year. So the next guy, obviously a lot of media coverage surrounding this because he only played for one team. Actually, this guy, you know what? I don't even want to do the analysis on this guy. I'm gonna let my boy, who's I would say he's a fanboy of Tom Brady, one of the very few NFL players he knows. So Mo, Tom Brady left the New England Patriots after so long, and went ahead and joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now known as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Was it a good move or was it a bad move? You tell me.
I think it was a good move. Tom Brady has a good history with the Patriots. From what I know about Tom Brady, he's got this arm and he's got this grip. It's that release. Okay. It's that release. It's how he delivers the ball. If he has somebody to go in and run after the ball and catch it, then
that's money.
Better for them. If not, too bad.
That analysis you cannot pay for.
No, get out of here, Stephen A. Smith. Get out of here.
Look at this. He's talking about Tom Brady's grip and his arm strength and his release, right? That's impeccable description. Like, he puts us to shame right now with Mo's description. That was amazing.
Yeah, I need to quit. I need to hang it up. Shout out to Mo with the...
Hey, Mo's right, though. Mo's right. Look, Tom Brady, he still has an arm. He still has that quick release. And I think the best part about Mo's description was the fact that, hey...
You mentioned the grip.
Hey, not just the grip. Quarterbacks throw, the receivers catch.
If you do it, it works. Yeah.
Hey, if you have receivers that can catch, and that's what Tampa Bay has, they do have a plethora of good receivers and tight ends, right? Yep. So, hey, Mo, I love your research. I like what you're doing, Mo. Keep it up.
You really worked hard on that, Mo. I appreciate it. Moving on, we're gonna hit you with a quick fantasy minute or two. We're doing, or three that we're doing thematically here because I can tell some of y'all need help. I'm in a league with a couple of you. Shout out to the NextManUp Sportscast League, and a lot of y'all suck. And I believe I think my boy Efren is 0-5, I want to say. And I asked him if he quit yet, and he said no. He's still trying, and he's still not.
First place?
He still hasn't won. Actually, that'd be me.
Second place?
That'd be you. Second place. Yes, I am at 4-1, scoring a massive amount of points on everybody. So we're gonna move on. I'm gonna help you out. I'm gonna use my expertise here. I've been watching the waiver wire because I know a lot of you still need help, man. And we're in week 5, week 6, and you still need help. Looking tough. I look on the waiver wire to actually steal guys so that nobody else starts them in the day, even if I don't. But here's a tight end help for you. If your waivers have gone through yet and you still have some room, these are some guys that could help you out. Number one and number 2 for tight ends, I got Trey Burton of the Indianapolis Colts and Drew Sample of the Cincinnati Bengals. Trey Burton actually started his first game of the year last week. He's supposed to be the Colts' number 1 tight end, but he was hurt. Came back, scored about 8.3 points. Did pretty good with the opportunities that he got. I think if he scores a touchdown, he has a great game. So give Trey Burton a look. Drew Sample's another guy. He's building that chemistry with a young quarterback in Joe Burrow. Hasn't had a huge game yet, but I think, again, when Drew Sample gets into the end zone, he piles that with like 3 or 4 catches and gets you a nice game. So these guys are a little bit touchdown dependent, just know that going in. Next, on the receiver help, Chase Claypool out of Notre Dame. Pittsburgh Steelers receiver, went off for 42.6 fantasy points. I believe he scored 4 touchdowns. Just went off. And if you know anything about the Steelers draft history, they know how to find receivers. So make sure if he's still available in your league, you might want to take a flyer on him as a flex.
And if he's still available in your league, that means your league sucks.
I agree.
Yeah, just stop because
I agree.
Yeah, okay.
Another guy that I probably not available in your league. Or I mean, probably is, and he probably is available in your league. It's Travis Fulgham, and the reason Travis Fulgham is probably available in your league is because Philadelphia just picked him up off the practice squad and started him. But he seems to have something built with Carson Wentz because he found him on a couple of touchdowns here, and he scored 31.2 fantasy points. So Fulgham might be worth. I mean, they have a tough matchup this week, but he might be worth a wait and see. Put him on your bench. Wait and see if he's consistent, and then, you might be able to plug him in your starting lineup. A guy that I am huge on, and I try to pick him up in every single league so far. In our league, he was already snagged, which made me upset. But Alexander Madison of the Minnesota Vikings, it looks very doubtful that Dalvin Cook plays in this game, and the Vikings have a great matchup. They're playing the Atlanta Falcons, who just give up massive amount of points to running backs. So last week, Madison only carried the ball. He carried the ball 20 times in the second half, and he ran for 110 yards, 16.6 fantasy points. He's a guy that if Dalvin Cook misses a lot of time, he could win you your league. So make sure you can pick up Alexander Madison.
And let me add somebody real quick, Chuchi.
What you got? What you got?
I picked this guy up. Luckily, I'm in 4 leagues, right?
Okay.
In my two Yahoo leagues, I was lucky enough to pick him up. And tell me what you think about this guy.
Let's see what you got.
LaMichael Perrine.
Okay.
He's going to be the next big name, or should I say, he's the next for the Jets, right? Yep. Le'Veon Bell is now chief, right? And look, all fingers, right, point to this guy, LaMichael Perrine. Right? Yep. I can't even say his name, but all I know is that I picked him up. I was lucky enough to pick him up in both of my Yahoo leagues of 16 and 14 teams.
So I kind of like him because I think he's going to get some opportunities being the younger guy there. But it's hard for me to start a Jets running back because they're so bad and they get down early, meaning they have to throw the ball a lot and not run. Plus, they have Frank Gore, the veteran there, who usually gets the goal line work.
But this guy is more of a also running back who could catch.
Exactly. That's the one thing he has going for him. But they also have Le'Veon Bell, who was like that, and he only managed to, not even 10 points a game. So it's going to be tough with the Jets running backs. I don't really trust them, but he might be worth a wait and see option for you there.
I picked him up, and he's starting in both my leagues because both my running backs have bye. So hey.
Oh, okay. Trial by fire. They are playing Miami. Miami's had a decent defense, so we'll see. It might be a high scoring game. Quarterback help. If you need quarterback help at this point in the season, you probably lost. Yeah. But let's see if we can help you get back in it. So Drew Lock is a guy who's coming off an injury. I like his potential to be really good this year. I don't really like him this week. He might be a guy that you need to stash because he's playing the Patriots, really good defense. But he's coming back from injury. He has some weapons. He did lose his best weapon, but he's still got some weapons. And I imagine the Broncos to be down a lot this year, so he might have to throw a lot and get you some garbage time points. Drew Lock might be worth something. And the second guy, Fitzmagic. Really specifically, he's good for this week. He's playing the Jets. The Jets stink. He lit it up against the Niners' really good defense, and now he gets the Jets' caca defense. So I think Fitzmagic gets you some good points this week specifically. I would start him if I didn't have such good options, but I would start him if I didn't have such good options. So that was the fantasy minute or 2 or 3. But now we're going to move on to the segment where we used to have it as a freaking, it was a lock. Mandy picked it. You put it in on FanDuel. You put it into your bookie, and boom, your light bill was paid. But now it's like, whew. Now you got some explaining to do to the missus if you put money on Mandy's lock because they haven't been so locky lately, Mandy. It's been tough. But
hey, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. God is the only perfect person being out there, right? But I'm just closer to it than anybody else. Right? So
is that a Kanye quote? It kind of sounds like a Kanye quote. But so Mandy, your next pick, actually, you're sticking with the same team. He doesn't learn. He just doesn't learn. But Notre Dame, they're minus 17. That's the spread. So Mo, we talked about against the spread statistics before the show. What is Notre Dame's against the spread record this year out of 3 games?
Notre Dame's is 1-2.
1-2. So Mandy's looking at riding them getting to 2-2. Tell me why, Mandy, that's a lock. Tell me why that's a lock, because they weren't a lock last week.
They came off, not playing for a week and a half. I thought they were going to be up by 28 points at halftime against a really bad Florida State defense.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is what happened. Two things happened, okay? Notre Dame, a little bit of rust. Their offense still looked good. They still put up 35 points in the first half, I believe. It was a really high-scoring game. But
something like that.
It looks like Florida State, it looks like they kind of rounded a corner with their new head coach. They put some points on the board, right? They got some garbage points at the end. They ended up, only losing by 18. I needed Notre Dame to cover by 21. Didn't happen. Florida State played out of their mind. Okay? It looks like they're going to change. But Notre Dame is still a very good team. They're still a very good team. And I don't think this Louisville team is good at all. Louisville, they had the history. They had, they had Bridgewater at quarterback, and they also had the Ravens.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, right? Louisville alumni, real highs. It looks like Louisville football is kind of going down a little bit. I looked for Notre Dame to put their foot down and just make a statement game. They're ranked number 4 in the country right now, Notre Dame. Okay, yes, it's watered down. No Big Ten, no Pac-12. Okay, but still, number 4 in the country, and they're going to make sure that people don't doubt them, and they're going to run the score up on Louisville after keeping it close against Florida State. I look for Notre Dame to win by more than 17 against Louisville.
Okay, I can get behind that. I mean, I'm going to trust you one more time, and after that, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But the next game, so it looks like you're taking the Cincinnati Bengals here, with the points. I believe they're playing the Colts. So we just kind of talked about Phillip Rivers, but Mo, what is the Bengals record out of 5 this year against the spread? How are they against the spread this year?
3-2.
3-2, so a little bit better than Notre Dame. Looking to get to 4-2. So tell me, why do you like the Bengals in this situation here?
I mean, we already talked about it. What's his name from the Colts? Phillip Rivers. He's gonna be good for at least 7 turnovers in this game. He's good for 2 interceptions. He's good for 2 interceptions, right? 1 pick six. The Bengals defense, it's a little shaky, but for some reason, Phillip Rivers does a great job at making opposing bad defenses look really good.
That is true.
I can see Phillip Rivers making the Bengals defense look really good. Okay, I could see again the Bengals are +8. That's more than a touchdown.
8.5.
8.5. So look, I don't know what Vegas sees. Maybe they think that Phillip Rivers is gonna, do well and have an all-time game. I don't see it happening. Okay, I'm gonna go with my Mandy math here and figure that Cincinnati's defense has a better chance of playing well compared to Phillip Rivers. Okay, playing well. Look, Bengals +8.5. Take it. The rookie quarterback for the Bengals, Joe Burrow, every single game he's getting better and better and more experience, right? His 5th game of the NFL season, right? I'm pretty sure he's not a veteran yet, obviously, but look, 5th game in the rookie year, right? He should be held accountable. Bengals +8.5 at the Colts, maybe underdog. Lock it in.
All right. Mandy likes him. I think the Colts defense is pretty good, so we'll have to see on that one. We'll have to just wait and see. One game I'm going to throw in there for you as a little bonus that I really like. I've been eyeing actually since Monday. Lions against who are they playing? No. Lions against the Jags. I don't care about who wins that game. Take the overs in that game. It's about 52 over. There's going to be a ton of points scored in that game. So take the overs in that game.
I have Matthew Stafford and Marvin Jones, my fantasy team. So I'm going to score.
Take the overs on that game. I like the overs a lot. So moving on. What's the next segment? What are we here? What do we got here?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, since we already have our guest speaker with us, Mauricio, I think we're going into rapid fire.
Let's go. And that's I've been a dog. I'm at 16 out of 20 right now. Just can't stop the train, man.
Look,
cannot stop the train.
I've been giving you, Kittles and bits. I've been giving you cookies this entire time.
Oh, so I've had the Dodger schedule. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Oh.
Wow. Okay.
All right, bring on the
well, here we
Braves.
go.
Let's go. Come on.
This is what we're gonna do, okay? Look, we're gonna just I'm gonna ignore you, okay? I'm gonna ignore you and that stupid hat you got on. We're gonna go ahead and
Nation,
move on.
baby.
Okay? Look, here you go. This question, NFL, right? We did a whole segment on on fantasy, and we did a whole segment on quarterbacks. NFL trivia question. Here we go. Okay, you're a young guy. We're talking about the next man up, the future of the sports. Here we go. Tell me the last 5. Okay, actually, I'll give you a window. The last 7. All I want is 5. The last 7 years, give me 5 NFL offensive rookies of the years. For the last 7 years, all I want is 5 NFL offensive rookie
of the year. Okay. Last year, Kyler Murray.
Okay.
Was the rookie of the year. Should have been Josh Jacobs. Ridiculous. Frick. Year before that, man, this is kind of tough. This is hard.
It's not hard. Just
you just gotta remember who was a rookie and when, And it's sometimes it's the guys who you think are obvious. Like I know Patrick Mahomes didn't come until year 2, so he didn't win the rookie of the year. Lamar Jackson came in really late. I don't think he won rookie of the year. But who was around at that time? I'm gonna say Carson Wentz won rookie of the year, or was it Dak Prescott? I'll go Carson Wentz. I'll say I don't know. Lamar Jackson didn't win it. I'll say last 7 years. Let's go with rookie of the year. It's a really quarterback heavy award most of the time. Crap, this is tough.
Just name some top NFL guys.
Yeah, I'm blanking here though, but I see that not always the top guys. Let's go ahead and say Josh Allen. I'm gonna say Josh Allen, but I think he was a rookie the same year Dak and them were. Let's go with Todd Gurley.
Okay.
I'm gonna give Todd Gurley. Let's go with Zeke.
All right.
No, not Zeke. Take that back because he came back the same year as Dak. I think he came out. Freaking A. This is hard. Let's say. I'm having a tough time with this one. Man, this is my thing too. Let's go with Andy Dalton. I don't know.
All right. So that was pretty bad. So your first pick was Kyle Murray. Yes, he won it last year.
I remember that one, yeah.
Okay. And your second choice was Carson Wentz, I believe?
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, yeah, he did not win the okay. So that, and then you said
I think I said Josh Allen.
You said Josh Allen. Yeah, he didn't win no rookie of the year. Okay. You said Todd Gurley. Yes, he won it. Todd Gurley. Okay. And then you said you just said who was your last pick right now?
I said Andy Dalton.
And yeah, that's not gonna happen. So you went 2 for 5. Okay.
Eesh.
2 for 5.
That was hard. That was hard.
Well, no, not really. Because look, think about it. Okay. So last year was Kyle Murray. Then we have Saquon Barkley. Okay.
Yeah, he did have a good rookie year.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara.
Oh shoot, I didn't know he won it. Wow.
Yeah. And you kept saying Dak Prescott, and he won it.
I really thought Carson Wentz won it that year, man.
Dak Prescott, Todd Gurley, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Odell Beckham Jr.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense.
Hey,
2 and 5.
40%. I got a bonus question.
Oh, okay.
All right, bonus question. Here we go.
What's up? Here we go. I got this.
Both of us. Right, me and you ready to go.
Here we go. All right.
First one.
Let's do this.
The controversy, which became known as Deflategate, erupted during a game between the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts. In which part of the 2014 to 2015 season was this game played?
Playoffs.
Playoff game.
Playoffs. AFC Championship game.
Boom, yeah. AFC Championship game.
Boom.
It is.
All right.
So now
Lock that in, baby.
he's
See, I knew it was going to come back.
3 and what?
3 and 5. 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5.
Yes.
3 out of 5. I'll take it. That was a good bonus question. That was hard. You wouldn't have known it was AFC Championship. I knew it was AFC Championship.
Honestly, I would have said the division. I would have said the divisional series, but
And that's why I get the bonus point. So that was rapid fire. You heard us give you that fantasy minute. You heard Mandy's lock. You heard us talk about the Dodgers and whatnot. But before we go, as we always do, we're going to do some takeaways. So, Mandy, hit me with your takeaway for the week.
look, I'm actually gonna like this takeaway because I'm going to connect this with Mr. Fernandez's world religions class. So in
Ooh.
Mr. Fernandez's senior world religion class, I am through Zoom teaching my kids about Hinduism, right? The
Amma.
ancient and modern religion of Hinduism, right? And one of the aspects that the Hindus believe in is karma. Good karma, you do good deeds, you'll get rewarded in this life or the next life with good deeds. You do bad, karma doesn't forget, and karma will catch up with you. I tie this all together in college football, COVID, SEC. We have a coach down in Florida by the name of Coach Mullins. I don't know his first name. I really don't care. Coach Mullins decided to go on this rant about how at the University of Florida, they should pack the stadium because he wants to make excuses for his loss at Texas A&M because their stadium was like half filled and how noise played a factor. So when he says, that's not fair, we should be following what they're doing, pack our stadium, we need all the help we can get, we're blah, 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 blah. And thank goodness the University of Florida, the president, and all the people down there said, no, it's not going to happen. We're following the rules. Empty stadium. Deal with it.
Right.
He threw a fit. Rah, 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 rah. Karma, baby. What happened the next day? His wife positive for coronavirus. I wish her the best. I wish her all the best.
Yeah, of course.
And then, of course, what happens? Oh, I would like to retract my comments about, packing the stadium. It was uncalled. Yeah, it was uncalled for, guy. It was very uncalled for. COVID, I'm not saying that it's life and death situation, but it's serious, man. Follow the guidelines. Don't be selfish, right? If your state, if your school board says no fans, just deal with it. And again, shout out to Nick Saban. Another GOAT. He's been really good about the whole situation, right?
Good leader.
He's been leading his guys in this whole voting rights, and he's been playing it safe with COVID. Unfortunately, himself and the AD at Alabama got COVID-19 recently. Prayers out to them. But guys, just stay safe, man. Follow the rules. Don't be dumb. It's not done yet. The more we stay safe, the quicker we can get back to normal. That's my takeaway.
Agreed. And usually I'm next on this takeaway section, but I'm going to go ahead and pass that off to my guy Mo here. Mo, what is your takeaway for the week? Talk to me.
So I learned a lot about fantasy football.
Okay.
We went over a lot of stuff, right? We went over a lot of positions on people you should pick. If I were doing fantasy football, I know who I'd pick now.
Okay.
This is coming from the guy that a couple years ago I dropped Ben Roethlisberger when he got in our league. He had like 200 plus points. So I'm the one that dropped that guy. Somebody picked him up, and yeah, I probably won't hear the end of that after this. But yeah, Tom Brady. I learned Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. That's the only analysis you need.
Yeah, he has a good grip, right? Quick release. Hey,
that's right.
Quarterbacks throw, receivers catch, baby. Mo, I love it.
Hey, that's football, baby. That's the simple basics of football. So, I mean, that was really our show. But before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out.
Go ahead.
Quick shout out to the Los Angeles Lakers for being your 2020 NBA Finals champs. Huge win for the city. Doing it on the year that Kobe passed was huge for the city. So big ups to LeBron and the Lakers.
And when we release this show tomorrow morning, Friday morning, we're going to also put up a poll question in regards to LeBron's legacy. And I want you guys to go look at it. It's actually a really good poll. Real good question. I know how I feel about it. I want to see how you guys feel about it. It's gonna be a tangent. It might be a discussion for our next show.
We'll catch you next time. Make sure if you like the show, make sure you tell your friends. Make sure you share it. Make sure you comment on the stuff. You like our stuff. And you subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on IG. All that good stuff. And we'll be back next week on the Next Man Up Sportscast.